Lord Shiva, the supreme deity of transformation and destruction. Introduction. Lord Shiva, one of the principal deities in Hinduism, is known as the Destroyer in the Holy Trinity, Trimurti, alongside Brahma, the Creator, and Vishnu, the Preserver. Revered as the supreme being in Shivism, he embodies the forces of creation, preservation, and destruction. Shiva is depicted as an ascetic yogi, yet he is also the householder deity with his consort, goddess Parvati, and their children, Ganesha and Kartikeya. This article delves into Shiva's iconography, mythology, symbolism, worship, and significance in different traditions. Etymology and meaning. The name, Shiva, means the auspicious one in Sanskrit. Other epithets include Mahadeva, the great god; Shankara, the beneficent; Rudra, the roaring storm; Nilkanth, the blue-throated one; Pashupati, lord of beasts; Bholenath, the innocent lord; Tripurantaka, the destroyer of the three cities. Iconography and symbolism. Shiva is depicted in various forms, each rich in symbolic meaning. 1. Physical depictions. Third eye represents wisdom and higher perception. Crescent moon symbolizes the cycles of time and cosmic balance. Blue throat, Nilkanth, represents his role in consuming the halahala poison to save the universe. Serpent around his neck signifies control over desires and fear. Trident, Trishul, represents the three gunas, sattva, goodness; rajas, passion; and tamas, ignorance. Sattva represents purity, goodness, and harmony. Rajas represents passion, activity, and ambition. Tamas represents inertia, darkness, and ignorance. The Trishul's control over these gunas signifies Shiva's mastery over the fundamental forces of nature. Damru, drum, represents cosmic sound and rhythm of creation. Ash-smeared body, Vibhuti, represents detachment and impermanence of the material world and the ultimate reality of Brahman. It symbolizes the burning away of ego and desires, and purity. It is a reminder that all that is material will one day turn to ash. Tiger skin symbolizes power over materialistic desires and supreme asceticism. Mythological stories of Shiva. Numerous stories depict Lord Shiva's divine nature and deeds. 1. The creation and dissolution of the universe. According to Hindu cosmology, Shiva's cosmic dance, Tandava, leads to the cyclic destruction and recreation of the universe. The Tandava is not just a dance of destruction but also of creation. Lasya, the gentle, graceful dance representing creation and preservation. Rudra Tandava, the fierce, energetic dance representing destruction. The rhythmic movements symbolize the cosmic cycles of creation, preservation, and dissolution. The symbolism of Nataraja's pose includes the fire circle, the drum, and the hand gestures. 2. Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean. During the churning of the ocean, Samudra Manthan, the deadly poison halhala emerged. Shiva drank it, holding it in his throat, which turned blue, earning him the name Nilkanth. 3. The marriage of Shiva and Parvati. After the self-immolation of Sati, Shiva withdrew into deep meditation. Parvati, an incarnation of Shakti, won his heart through intense penance and devotion, leading to their divine marriage. 4. The birth of Lord Ganesha. Shiva beheaded Ganesha in a misunderstanding and later revived him with an elephant's head, granting him the status of Vignharta, remover of obstacles. 5. The slaying of Tripurasura. Shiva, in his form as Tripurantaka, destroyed the three demon cities, Tripura, with a single arrow, signifying the triumph of divine power over evil. Shiva's family. Shiva and Parvati are the parents of Ganesha and Kartikeya, Murugan. Kartikeya is a god of war. Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. Nandi is Shiva's divine bull, his vehicle, and a devoted follower. Nandi represents Dharma and is the gatekeeper of Shiva. Forms of Shiva. Shiva manifests in multiple divine forms. Nataraj, the cosmic dancer. Bharva, the fierce form. Ardhanarishwara, the androgynous form, half Shiva, half Shakti. Dakshinamurti, the guru or teacher. Lingam, the abstract representation of Shiva. The lingam is an iconic representation of Shiva, symbolizing his formless, eternal nature. It is a focal point for worship and meditation. The base of the lingam, the yoni, represents Shakti, highlighting the inseparable union of Shiva and Shakti. Virabhadra, the warrior form. Harihara, a composite form of Shiva and Vishnu. Kala Bhairava, Shiva, in his form as Kala Bhairava, represents the ultimate aspect of time, Kala. Kala Bhairava is the destroyer of time itself, transcending past, present, and future. He is the guardian of Varanasi, Kashi. Shiva and Shakti, the divine union. Shakti, represented by goddess Parvati, is the dynamic feminine energy that complements Shiva's static consciousness. Their union represents the interplay of consciousness and energy, essential for creation and existence. Ardhanrishwar is a visual representation of this inseparable union. Without Shakti, Shiva is Shava, corpse. Shiva's Leela, the divine play. Shiva's actions, including his destruction and creation, are often considered Leela, a divine play or sport. This concept emphasizes that his actions are not driven by personal motives but are part of the cosmic dance of existence. Worship and devotion. 1. Temples and sacred places. Shiva is worshipped across India and beyond. Some of the most significant temples include Kashi Vishwanath, Varanasi, India. Kedarnath, Uttarakhand, India. Somanath, Gujarat, India. Chidambaram Nataraj Temple, Tamil Nadu, India. Amarnath Cave Temple, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Mount Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiva and Parvati, a sacred pilgrimage site. The river Ganges. The river Ganges is very important to devotees of Shiva. Mythologically, Shiva caught the river in his hair. The Ganges is important for purification of body and soul, and for death rituals. Varanasi is also very important to the worship of Shiva and the Ganges. 2. Jyotirlingas, the sacred shrines of Shiva. There are 12 Jyotirlingas, each representing a different manifestation of Shiva. Somanath, Gujarat. Mallikarjun, Andhra Pradesh. Mahakaleshwar, Madhya Pradesh, the only Jyotirlinga facing south. Omkareshwar, Madhya Pradesh. Kedarnath, Uttarakhand. Bhimashankar, Maharashtra. Kashi Vishwanath, Uttar Pradesh. Trambakeshwar, Maharashtra. Vaidyanath, Jharkhand. Nageshwar, Gujarat. Rameshwar, Tamil Nadu, established by Lord Rama. Krishneshwar, Maharashtra. The Jyotirlingas are manifestations of Shiva's infinite light, representing his formless nature taking form. 3. Festivals dedicated to Shiva. Mahashivratri, a grand festival honoring Shiva's cosmic dance and marriage. Shravan Mas, a holy month dedicated to Shiva worship. Kartigai Deepam, celebrated in Tamil Nadu, honoring Shiva as the divine flame. Pradosham, observed twice a month to seek Shiva's blessings. 4. Worship practices. Offering bilva leaves, milk, honey, and fruits. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya, the sacred mantra. The Panchakshara mantra. Explaining the meaning of each word and the overall meaning of the mantra. Explaining the importance of chanting the mantra and the benefits that come from it. Performing Abhishekam, ritual bathing of the Shiva Lingam. Observing fasts and night-long vigils on Mahashivratri. Practicing meditation and yoga to connect with Shiva's consciousness. Rudraksh. Rudraksh beads are considered sacred to Lord Shiva, originating from his tears. The different influence on spirituality and philosophy. Shiva plays a central role in Hindu philosophical and spiritual traditions. Shivism, one of the major sects of Hinduism that worships Shiva as the supreme god. Yoga and meditation. Shiva is considered the Adiyogi, first yogi, and the ultimate guide for spiritual seekers. Advaita Vedanta. In non-dualism, Shiva represents the supreme consciousness. Tantra and mysticism. Shiva is deeply associated with tantric practices, symbolizing spiritual awakening and liberation, moksha. Expanded sections. 1. Tantra and mysticism. Shiva is considered the Adi Guru, first teacher, of Tantra, and his influence permeates various tantric traditions. Tantra emphasizes the direct experience of reality through practices that integrate the body, mind, and spirit. Shiva Sutras. These aphorisms are foundational texts of Kashmir Shivism, revealing the nature of consciousness as the ultimate reality. They explore themes of consciousness as the source of all existence, the nature of Maya, illusion, and the path to liberation through self-realization. These sutras provide a direct path to understanding Shiva's true nature. Kundalini Shakti. Tantra views Kundalini as the dormant spiritual energy residing at the base of the spine. The goal of tantric practices is to awaken and raise this energy through the chakras, leading to the union of Shiva, consciousness, and Shakti, energy, within the individual. This awakening brings about profound spiritual experiences and liberation. Left-handed and right-handed Tantra. Tantra is broadly classified into Dakshinachara, right-handed, and Vamchara, left-handed, paths. Dakshinachara emphasizes internal rituals, meditation, and ethical conduct. Vamachara, on the other hand, involves external rituals, the use of substances traditionally considered impure, and practices that challenge societal norms. Both paths ultimately aim to achieve the same goal, the realization of the ultimate reality, with Shiva as the source of both paths. 2. Advaita Vedanta. In Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy, Shiva represents Brahman, the ultimate, formless reality. The core principle is the oneness of Atman, individual soul, and Brahman. Maya and the illusion of duality. Maya is the cosmic illusion that veils the true nature of Brahman, creating the perception of duality and separation. It is not that Maya is unreal, but that it causes a misperception of reality. It causes the perception that the world is separate from Brahman. Shiva, as the master of Maya, transcends its illusions. Realizing the Atman's identity with Brahman involves dispelling the illusions created by Maya. This realization is the ultimate goal of Advaita Vedanta, leading to liberation, moksha. Further detail on the importance of the Ganges. The Ganges river holds an exceptionally sacred position in Hinduism, and its connection to Lord Shiva further amplifies its significance. Mythological origin and Shiva's grace. The mythological story of the Ganges descent is intrinsically linked to Shiva. It is said that when goddess Ganga was to descend from the heavens, her force was so powerful that it threatened to overwhelm the earth. Lord Shiva, with his immense compassion, agreed to receive her into his matted hair, mitigating her force and allowing her to flow gently onto the earth. This act of Shiva portrays him as the one who controls and channels divine energy for the benefit of all. Purification and spiritual cleansing. The Ganges is revered as a purifier of both the body and the soul. Bathing in its waters is believed to cleanse one of sins and impurities, both physical and spiritual. Devotees believe that the river's waters possess the power to purify the karma of those who seek its grace. The waters are used in many rituals, and are considered essential in the rituals surrounding death. Connection to Varanasi, Kashi. The city of Varanasi, situated on the banks of the Ganges, is considered one of the holiest cities in Hinduism, and is deeply associated with Lord Shiva. It is believed that Shiva resides in Kashi, and the Ganges flowing through the city is considered particularly sacred. It is believed that those who die in Varanasi and are cremated on the banks of the Ganges attain moksha, liberation. Ritual and devotional significance. The Ganges is central to many Hindu rituals and ceremonies, particularly those dedicated to Lord Shiva. Devotees perform aarti, worship with lambs, on the banks of the Ganges, offering prayers and expressing their devotion. The act of offering water from the Ganges to the Shiva Lingam is considered a highly auspicious act of worship. Symbolic representation. The Ganges is seen as a symbolic representation of the flow of divine consciousness and the continuity of life. Its ceaseless flow represents the eternal nature of the divine. The Ganges also represents the flow of time. In essence, the Ganges river is not merely a geographical feature but a living embodiment of divine grace and spiritual significance, deeply intertwined with the worship of Lord Shiva. Expanding on the concept of Maya. In Advaita Vedanta, Maya is not simply illusion, in the sense of something unreal. Rather, it's a complex concept that describes the power of concealment and projection, leading to a misapprehension of the true nature of reality. It's the veil that obscures the oneness of Atman, individual soul, and Brahman, ultimate reality, which Lord Shiva represents. The power of concealment, Avrana Shakti. Maya conceals the true nature of Brahman, which is pure consciousness and bliss. It obscures the fact that Atman and Brahman are one and the same. This concealment leads to the perception of a separate, individual self, distinct from the divine. The power of projection, Vikshepa Shakti. Maya not only conceals the truth but also projects a false reality onto it. This projection creates the appearance of a diverse, material world, with its myriad forms and experiences. It projects the illusion of duality, creating the appearance of subject and object, self and other. It creates the illusion of time and space. Maya and duality. The core problem created by Maya is the perception of duality. We perceive ourselves as separate from the world, from others, and from the divine. This sense of separation leads to suffering, as we become attached to the impermanent objects of the world and fear their loss. Shiva is the master of Maya. Lord Shiva, as Brahman, is the master of Maya. He transcends its illusions and remains ever present as the underlying reality. Through spiritual practice and the grace of Shiva, one can pierce the veil of Maya and realize their true nature as Atman Brahman. The goal of the devotee is to see past Maya and see Shiva. Maya is not unreal, but misperceived. It's crucial to understand that Maya is not equivalent to non-existence. The world we perceive is not entirely unreal, but our perception of it is flawed. We misperceive the world as being intrinsically separate from Brahman, when in reality, it is a manifestation of Brahman. Maya is like a rope in the dark, that is misperceived as a snake. Once light is shed on the rope, the misperception ends. In essence, Maya is the power that creates the illusion of a separate, material world, obscuring the underlying unity of all existence. Lord Shiva, as Brahman, is the one who transcends this illusion, offering the path to liberation through self-realization. The concept of Atman and Shiva. In Advaita Vedanta, the core teaching is the non-duality of Atman, the individual soul or self, and Brahman, the ultimate reality. Lord Shiva, in this philosophical context, is understood as the representation of Brahman. Therefore, the concept of Atman and Shiva are fundamentally intertwined. Atman as pure consciousness. Atman is described as the pure, unchanging consciousness that resides within every living being. It is the witness, the observer, and the essence of our being. It is not the physical body, the mind, or the ego, but the underlying reality that transcends these transient aspects. Brahman as the ultimate reality. Brahman is the absolute, infinite, and eternal reality that is the source and substratum of all existence. It is beyond all attributes and descriptions. In Advaita Vedanta, Brahman is considered the only reality, and everything else is a manifestation or appearance of it. The oneness of Atman and Brahman. The central teaching of Advaita Vedanta is that Atman and Brahman are identical. This means that the individual soul is not separate from the ultimate reality. This realization of oneness is the goal of spiritual practice, leading to liberation, moksha, from the cycle of birth and death. Shiva is the representation of Brahman. In the Advaita Vedanta perspective, Lord Shiva is not merely a deity, but a symbolic representation of Brahman. He embodies the qualities of pure consciousness, transcendence, and absolute reality. Therefore, when one realizes the oneness of Atman and Brahman, they are essentially realizing their oneness with Shiva. The path to realization. The path to realizing this oneness involves dispelling the illusions of Maya, the power of illusion, and transcending the limitations of the ego. This can be achieved through practices such as meditation, self-inquiry, and the study of scriptures. The goal is to remove the avidya, or ignorance, that keeps the Atman from realizing its true nature. Practical implications. Understanding the oneness of Atman and Shiva has profound practical implications. It leads to a sense of inner peace, freedom from fear and attachment, and a deep connection to the divine. It also fosters a sense of unity with all beings, as we recognize the same Atman residing within everyone. In essence, the concept of Atman and Shiva in Advaita Vedanta points to the fundamental unity of all existence. It is a call to awaken to our true nature as pure consciousness and to experience the bliss of oneness with the divine. Expanding on the importance of Nandi. Nandi, the white bull, is far more than just Lord Shiva's Vahana, vehicle. He is a profound symbol of devotion, righteousness, and unwavering faith, playing a crucial role in Shiva's iconography and worship. Symbol of Dharma. Nandi represents Dharma, the principle of righteousness, duty, and moral order. He embodies the qualities of truthfulness, integrity, and unwavering adherence to divine law. His steadfastness and loyalty to Shiva serve as a model for devotees, inspiring them to lead lives guided by Dharma. The gatekeeper. Nandi is considered the gatekeeper of Kailash, Lord Shiva's abode. He stands guard at the entrance to Shiva's temples, symbolizing the need for purity and devotion before approaching the divine. Devotees often whisper their prayers into Nandi's ear, believing that he will convey their messages to Shiva. Unwavering devotion. Nandi's posture, always facing Shiva, signifies his complete and unwavering devotion. He is a symbol of unconditional surrender and selfless service. This quality of devotion is highly valued in Hindu spirituality, and Nandi serves as an inspiration for devotees to cultivate a similar level of dedication to the divine. Symbol of strength and virility. As a bull, Nandi also represents strength, virility, and power. He embodies the qualities of physical and spiritual strength, which are essential for overcoming obstacles on the spiritual path. Connection to Shiva's energy. Nandi is closely associated with Shiva's energy and is considered an extension of his divine power. He is a conduit for Shiva's blessings and grace. It is said that Nandi is born from Shiva's own right side. The importance of Nandi in worship. In Shiva temples, Nandi is always given a place of prominence. Devotees offer prayers and perform rituals in his presence, acknowledging his importance as a symbol of devotion and a conduit for Shiva's blessings. The ringing of the temple bell is also said to awaken Nandi and signal to him that devotees have arrived. In essence, Nandi is not merely a vehicle but a vital aspect of Shiva's divine presence, embodying the qualities of dharma, devotion, and strength. He serves as a powerful symbol for devotees, inspiring them to cultivate these qualities on their own spiritual journey.